Welcome back to Network Africa. Let's move over to South Africa, where the Communist Party, SACP, says that President Jacob Zuma has informed them that he intends to replace his Finance Minister, Pravin Gordhan, as well as his Deputy, Nsebisi Jonas. However, the SACP, a key ally of the governing African National Congress, ANC, says it is against the proposed reshuffle. The South African media is also reporting that many senior ANC figures are opposed to the president's apparent plan to replace Mr. Gordhan, who is widely respected internationally. The South African currency, the rand, has fluctuated based on speculation about the fate of the finance minister. Meanwhile, as President Zuma is planning to oust the finance minister, the opposition economic freedom fighter leader Julius Malema is also determined to oust the president from office. Mr. Malema says he will file an application at the Constitutional Court to order the Speaker of Parliament to institute impeachment proceedings against President Zuma. Mr. Malema says the bid to impeach the president revolves around the so-called Nkandla scandal. The court ruled last year that the president violated the Constitution and had failed to uphold his oath of office by failing to repay government money used to upgrade his rural home. Mr. Zuma repaid about $540,000 to comply with the court order. From being a clothing trader to coffee entrepreneur, Ugandan farmer Betty Nduga has found a way to make a living selling an improved variety of coffee seedlings while also helping her community to develop. Since 1993, coffee wilt disease has destroyed over 12 million plants, threatening Uganda's top export crop. But now a wilt-resistant variety has been developed, which promises to give farmers healthier crops.
Betty Nduga is an entrepreneur from Luwera district, Uganda, providing local farmers with coffee bean seedlings. Betty used to be a clothing trader in the capital Kampala, but after her husband died, she returned to her village and joined a local farmer field school, supported by the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization, where she was trained in coffee production.
This is where my first nursery was established. It used to stop here. Then I expanded to the nursery all the way up there and to the end.
Betty started with 50 coffee seedlings, which grew to 10,000 seedlings the next season. Today, Betty says she has 220,000 seedlings. The farmer inherited the nursery from her parents and saw a business potential in it.
After my parents died, I had learned how to raise the coffee seedlings, and I started to operate this nursery as a business enterprise.
Coffee bean has traditionally been Uganda's top export crop. However, since 1993, coffee wilt disease has destroyed over 12 million plants here, forcing many smallholder farmers to abandon their coffee plantations. Now, a wilt-resistant variety has been developed, bringing new hope for smallholder farmers. Betty's seedlings are also being bought by the Uganda Coffee Development Authority, who distribute them to farmers, while also providing training in a drive to revive the sector.
I've taken 250 seedlings that after some 2 years to come, I'll be able to yield. Then I sell and I add on my income, educate my children, looking after my family, and all the basic needs.
Despite the popularity of the scheme, entrepreneurs such as Betty and local farmers say one of the major hurdles they face is access to water. Betty has been using a community borehole situated 1 kilometer away from the nursery and pays young boys to fetch water for her nursery. Betty says plans are being made, though, to construct a borehole in the area.
Staying on in Uganda, at least 28 Chinese nationals have been arrested in the country after immigration officials raided the premises of a Chinese-owned construction company. The Chinese men were arrested for allegedly living and working illegally in the East African state. About 16 people were arrested at the company's main camp in Kayabando village in eastern Uganda, while another 22 others were arrested at a quarry. The company, China Railway 18th Bureau Group, earlier won a contract to build a road of about 100 kilometers in the region. Finally, let's take you over to Libya, where armed with wooden guns on a set portraying a battlefield, Libyan students on Monday acted out their country's political trauma in the city of Misrata, one of the centers of the 2011 revolution. The drama examines the inability of Libya's leaders to end the conflicts that have dogged the country since dictator Muammar Gaddafi was overthrown 6 years ago.
The play, Simple But, ran for one night only and was only the second event to be staged in Misrata's theatre since it reopened last year after lying dormant and neglected for 15 years. The drama examines the inability of Libya's leaders to maintain a political dialogue and end the factional and tribal conflicts that have affected the country since the dictator Muammar Gaddafi was overthrown 6 years ago.
This play speaks about the crisis the country is going through and who is responsible for them all. We all know it is the men in ties who we had placed our confidence in and given the opportunity to take over the country. But unfortunately, they were the reasons for the destruction of this country. We made it clear in the play that if these politicians were to stay away, our country would be just fine, and we wouldn't have to deal with malice and greed.
The play emerged from a one-month acting course that Misrata's theatre troupe held for students at the city's university. It portrays fighting between Libya's many factions and the destruction it causes. One by one, members of each faction decide to lay down their weapons in favor of dialogue.
This performance speaks about our current reality. Honestly, I was taken aback by the play, and it made me feel that I was part of it. And it made me very emotional.
The group was scheduled to perform during the Spring Festival in Janzour, just outside Tripoli on Thursday, and are also trying to organize performances in other cities.
And that's it on Network Africa. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Temitope Fagbemi.